And then, did you see Adam Page? It looked like they had just called him at home where he was in the middle of shampooing his carpets. And he just bopped on down to television. He had a house cleaning scarf on his head, a hair bun, and a tie-dyed T-shirt. He looked like the love child of superstar Billy Graham and Aunt Jemima. And he's back in the back again doing backstage skits with the Dork Order. They've just decided to forget that he was the world champion at all because it was such a underwhelming title reign. And now he's back dressing like a douchebag and talking and playing with underneath folks. And they're mad apparently at the House of Black. So the House of Black and the Dork Order are a program that we're going to be treated to. How can a supposed cowboy look like such a fucking twat?
Because he's as much a cowboy as I am.
But you can dress up like a fucking gangster or a cowboy.
I'm not a gangster.
I didn't mean to strike a nerve there, pal. I'm just saying you can dress up like anything. If you're calling yourself something, then you should dress like that thing.
But that's not the attitude of the Young Bucks and their friends. It's we're here to play. We're here to do our little skits. We're here to have fun with each other. We think we have people who like it, so we're just going to do whatever we want. And if you haven't noticed, guys like Adam Page and the Bucks, they don't play well with others. So if they're going to stay within their little camp and them and the Dark Order will feud with the House of Black, the House of Black are already death on TV. If you're going to put Adam Page and the Dark Order in another death segment, it doesn't make much of a difference. They spent a couple of years getting ready for Adam Page to be the world champion. When all those guys came in, you would hear them internally, they would say, oh, Adam Page is the one, Adam Page is the one. And they spent all that time and everyone would say, oh, the thing with him and Kenny is so brilliant. And no one gives a shit about him today. No one gives a shit. And it's not just because of the booking. This is not a case where you could blame Tony's booking as much as Adam Page. They gave him the belt and somehow he got more
less
boring.
over.
Yeah. Somehow he got worse.
I disagree with you about one that you can blame the booking for the complete disinterest in I mean, both can be true. Paige has done nothing except the same shit he does in every match. There's never any surprises, but the booking was abysmal as well.
Yes.
Yes. And then Jim Ross entered for hour 2. They've already figured out a way to make this awkward. It was kind of okay, here comes Jim Ross, and he's fresh for hour 2, and he's more cheerful, and it was a little upbeat thing last week. This week, the way they formatted it, they said, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Ross, and the music plays, and he comes out, and he's headed to the announce desk, and before JR even sat down and said anything, they segued his music to Hager's music. And here comes Hager down, and then JR sits down at the desk, and you hear him speak. It was an awkward transition. It's like, hey, here's JR, and he comes out, and then something else is happening, and we never heard from JR until after that Hager entrance. Have him sit, if you're going to bring him out in the middle of the show, have him sit down at the desk and say 15 seconds of pleasantries, and then segue. It's a less jarring transition.